The road to Hlynov ends before the village begins. Not physically. Geographically, the asphalt continues. Maps show it clearly. But drivers always slow there without knowing why. Engines quiet. Conversations fade. Even music seems louder than it should, as if sound dislikes crossing that invisible border. Serhiy noticed it the moment his car rolled past the crooked wooden sign that read, Hlynov. Population numbers had been scratched off. The silence felt aware. He stopped the car. The engine ticked as it cooled. Nothing moved. No dogs barked. No leaves rustled. No insects hummed. It wasn't the silence of nature. It was the silence of listening. He saw it immediately. Every village has a center, a church, a shop, a square. Hlynov had a well. It stood in the middle of the road itself, stones blackened with age, rope hanging loose, bucket resting against the rim. Moss crept along its sides like veins. Serhiy frowned. Strange place for a well. Stranger still. No path led to it. No footprints in dust. No marks in dirt. It looked used, but untouched. He stepped closer. The air above it felt colder. Not breeze cold. Cellar cold. Buried cold. He leaned slightly and looked inside. Darkness. Not ordinary darkness. Depth. At first he thought he imagined it. A faint noise. Like cloth shifting underwater. He leaned closer. The sound came again. A whisper. Soft. Dry. Careful. He couldn't understand the words. Only the tone. It wasn't calling. It was answering. A shutter creaked. Serhiy turned. An old woman stood inside the nearest house, watching him through cloudy glass. She didn't wave. Didn't smile. Didn't move at all. She just stared. He raised a hand politely. Her lips parted. She mouthed something. Slowly. Deliberately. Don't. Behind him. The rope slid. Just slightly. He froze. It moved again. Fibers tightening. As if something below had pulled it. The bucket tipped. Knocked softly against stone. Tap. 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 The whisper rose again. Clearer now. Almost words. Serhiy felt his throat tighten. Because the sound below wasn't random anymore. It was forming syllables. Learning them. Testing them. And then, it spoke. Serhiy. The voice came from the well. Perfectly clear. Perfectly calm. Perfectly patient. His blood turned to ice. He had never been here before. No one in this village should know him. Behind the window, the old woman closed her eyes slowly. Like someone hearing a sentence already passed. She opened the door and stepped outside. Her voice trembled. It spoke. Serhiy swallowed. Yes. Her shoulders sank. How many times? Once. She nodded quickly. Good. 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 Relief flooded her face. Sharp, desperate relief. Then you still have time. Time for what? He asked. She looked at the well. Then back at him. To leave before it says it again. Serhiy forced a laugh that didn't sound like his own. It's just an echo, he said. Someone's down there. Maybe a tunnel, or... Don't explain it, the old woman snapped. Her voice cracked like dry wood. It likes explanations. It learns faster that way. He blinked. Learns what? She didn't answer. Instead, she stared at the well as if expecting it to blink back. Silence stretched. Then, the rope twitched again. Not pulled. Tensed. Like a muscle remembering movement. If it says your name twice, she whispered, you must not listen. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to. Her eyes flicked to him sharply. It isn't trying to make sense. It's trying to make you. A cold pulse moved through his chest. What happens if it says it 3 times? Her lips parted. But the answer never came. Because the well spoke again. Serhiy. Clearer. Closer. Not echoing now. Not distant. Right beneath the surface. He staggered back from the stones. The sound hadn't traveled upward. It had arrived. Like something had climbed closer to the mouth of the well, just to speak. The old woman shut her eyes tightly. Her whisper broke. Too late. The village shifted. Not visibly. Not physically. But undeniably. The silence thickened. The sky seemed lower. The shadows leaned inward. Serhiy swallowed hard. What does that mean? She opened her eyes slowly. It heard you hear it. The rope slid again. Longer this time. Fibers tightening. Creaking softly as tension built from below. The bucket lifted. Just a few centimeters. Hung. Then lowered again. Testing. As if whatever held it wanted to measure weight. Measure distance. Measure him. No one draws water anymore, she said quietly. Why not fill it? Her expression hardened. You don't fill a mouth. The word struck him. Mouth. She nodded toward the stones. It's not a well. Not anymore. It used to be. Long ago. Before it learned how to answer. Her gaze drifted, unfocused. The first voice it copied belonged to a boy. He leaned too far, just like you. It said his name once. He laughed. Thought someone hid below. Her fingers tightened on her sleeve. The second time, it sounded like his mother. Serhi's stomach tightened. What happened? She looked at him. It didn't need a third time. He stepped back despite himself. How deep is it? No one knows. Someone must have measured. They did. And they dropped a stone. She paused. It never hit anything. From below, a faint inhale. Serhi froze. The sound wasn't loud, but it was unmistakable. Breathing. Slow. Wet. Patient. Then, his voice spoke from the darkness. Serhi, come closer. He looked down instinctively. The old woman grabbed his arm too late. Inside the well, he saw himself. Not reflection. Not shadow. A figure. Standing far below. Looking up. Smiling. Don't let it see your eyes, she whispered urgently. But the figure below was already staring straight into them. And it smiled wider. Because it knew. The thing in the well inhaled again. Its chest expanded slowly. Like lungs filling for a long-awaited word. The old woman's grip tightened painfully. Don't listen, she begged. Whatever happens, don't listen. Below them, the mouth opened. The thing in the well did not rush. Its mouth opened slowly, wider than any human jaw could stretch. Darkness gathered inside it like thick liquid, folding inward and downward as if depth itself were breathing. Serhi tried to look away. He couldn't. Something in that blackness held his gaze the way a cliff holds falling stones. The voice rose. Not loud. Not sudden. Certain. Serhi. The third time, the old woman whimpered. Because the rule was broken. The air changed instantly. Not gradually. Instantly. Sound died. Wind stopped. Even the feeling of his own heartbeat faded, as if his body were no longer fully convinced it was alive. The well exhaled. A long, slow breath climbed from its throat and spilled over the stones. Mist poured out. Gray. Thick. Moving with purpose. Not drifting. Searching. Something rose from inside the well. Not climbing. Floating. A hand. Human-shaped. But wrong. Its fingers were too long, its joints bending slightly backward. The skin looked like soaked paper stretched over bones that didn't belong to any creature born under sunlight. It reached the rim. Paused. Then gripped the stone. The sound it made was relief. The old woman whispered. It remembers everyone it ever called. More hands appeared. 1, 2, 5, dozens. All grasping upward from the dark throat of the well. Those are not the dead, she said. They are the remembered. They pulled. Slowly. Patiently. Like something that had waited years for permission. Serhi staggered back. What is it? Her answer was barely air. It's what answers when you answer back. A head rose over the rim. Not formed. Assembled. Features slid into place like pieces searching for the correct arrangement. Eyes appeared first. Then a mouth. Then skin tightened across its skull. Its face shifted. Old man. Child. Woman. Stranger. Friend. Each face lasted only a heartbeat. Then, it stopped. On his. The creature spoke softly. I cannot leave unless I am someone. Its voice was his voice. I borrow. The hands kept pulling. Its shoulders emerged. Its chest. Its ribs. Inside its skin. Letters moved. Names. Hundreds. Thousands. Sliding slowly beneath the surface. You heard me once before, it said. Serhi's breath hitched. Images surfaced. A memory he had buried. He was 10 years old, running with friends, daring each other to shout into the old village well. He remembered laughing, remembered leaning over, remembered hearing something whisper back, and answering it. You spoke to me, the thing said gently. You finished the invitation. It stepped out of the well. Its feet touched the ground with a soft, wet sound. The old woman covered her mouth. It came for him, she breathed. Serhi's voice trembled. What are you going to do? The creature tilted its head. What you did for me. It smiled kindly. You'll stay? It pointed at the well. And I'll go. The mist thickened. Hands burst from the ground around Serhi's feet. Cold fingers wrapped his ankles, his wrists, his waist. He gasped. The creature stepped closer, studying him with fascination. Thank you for your name, it said softly. The earth softened beneath him. Not mud, not soil. Mouth. The ground opened silently and swallowed him down to his knees. He screamed. No sound came out. Because the village had gone silent again. It always did when someone was taken. The creature inhaled deeply. Its body straightened. Its skin warmed. Color spread across its cheeks. It blinked. For the first time, like a human, it smiled at the old woman. "Good morning," it said politely. In Serhi's voice. The ground closed. The well stilled. The rope hung motionless. Nothing remained of Serhi. The woman trembled. "You'll stay now?" she whispered. The thing nodded pleasantly. "Yes. And that is why no one leaves Hlynif. Because sometimes travelers arrive. And sometimes wells remember. And sometimes names are not sounds, but keys." That night, long after sunset, the well whispered again. Soft, patient, hungry. A new name. Because it never forgets a voice that answers. And it never stops asking.